Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is Winter is Fun, a Winter House podcast. We've made it. It is season 2, episode 9, the finale. We're done.
Can
Kind
I
of,
just
thank
want to
God.
reiterate? I don't know if I actually said this last episode, but I'm pissed they're ending on 9. I understand if they maybe thought they were going to do reunion to get to 10, but what the hell is this? Why
I think
an
they,
odd number?
if it's gonna be this long, they need a reunion. Like that
Yeah,
makes me kind of mad.
I agree.
Like there's too much shit to not. I don't know.
There's a
Fucking.
lot of unsettled things, which I can't wait to talk about the season as a whole at the very end because I have some thoughts about this.
Okay, we'll get into it. But before we do, check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast, which is usually Summer is Fun and will be coming back as Summer is Fun.
In
Once
February.
Summer House premieres. And then we have It's About the Pasta Vanderpump Rules podcast, which will also be coming back in February. And then One Season Wonders, which will come back whenever these live shows like die or something.
Whenever we
Um
have a day to breathe.
Please be sure to rate, review, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta. We're going to get my final tweets right now. Go check it out. My final tweets for the
Yay!
season. Um, they're not my tweets. I steal them and post. But
Alicia's tweet cap instead of
my tweet
recap.
cap. There you go. And then join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our pre-shows where Meredith and I talk about literally whatever we want. That's how you'll get to know us better. So if you just joined for the season and you're like, who are these two girls? Pledge $1. You'll learn a lot about us, probably more than you bargained for.
It's a Russian roulette of topics too. I always think we're going to talk about TV shows because that's a good foundation for us.
Yeah, I wanted to, but we just got carried
We went
away.
down a rabbit hole per
Yeah.
usual.
So, and then you'll get access to any episodes we record early, which is mainly when we go back and watch old seasons, but sometimes it's live season. So just $1 a month gets you a lot. For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, you get access to our after show that we do when we go back and watch old seasons. So we can still talk about Bravo News and keep the episodes for the old seasons spoiler free. We will also say your name on the podcast. So I got to read all our Patreons because they're all over. Whatchamacallit, $2. Okay, so
Yay!
thank you to Chris, Danae, Dustin, Jackie, Jamie, Casey, Kimberly, Chris, Sarah, Cameron, Tiffany, Tonette, Tracy, Courtney, Gina, Jennifer, Kirsten, Kelsey D, Kelsey M, and Mariah.
Snaps to the
Wow.
group. I
Oh
can't
my
believe we've been doing
God.
this podcast for basically 2 years and we have that many patrons.
I know. Like they just like absolutely thank you. Thank you for going through another season of like one of our shows with us. Thank you for donating. We
Yeah.
super appreciate
I
all of
can't
you.
wait for the craziness that's about to come in February.
Agreed. Okay, and then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, for live seasons, you give us your thoughts, your questions, your concerns, whatever you want, and we will read and talk about it on the podcast. We have lots to get through today. And then also, we will say your name on the podcast, or we will pick a patron of the episode. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. Let me get to the patron of the episode. Okay. So we did get a lot of different thoughts when we're trying to get everyone involved. So
Lots
I'm
of
gonna,
involvement this season. I
yeah,
love.
I'm actually gonna shout it out. I'm gonna pick 3 because we got
Ooh,
3 people giving us a
it's a
lot of
big
thoughts for this
episode.
finale. And so with it being the finale, I feel like I can get a little spicy.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna pick or give an extra shout out to Dustin, Casey, and Tonette.
Heck
Some of
yes.
our lifelong patrons, we hope, or as long as we can do
Long
this.
term friends. Friends for life.
Okay. So before we get into the episode, let me read some thoughts we had regarding like last episode.
Oh, also, Dustin said DM. Dustin said he left a review, so I can't wait till that
Oh my
shows up.
God, Dustin, it hasn't gone through
And
yet.
he
I
he,
just
he gave
checked.
us 5 stars because
Dustin,
of
thank
the
you.
1 star person. So I just want to give
Oh,
Dustin that shout out too.
we thank you, Dustin. We did also get an Instagram message that was like, I think it was maybe Casey, but someone was just like, screw that 1 star review. And
I
I was like,
actually read it. I found it. I just
oh,
randomly
did
was
you?
reading through message and my heart was so full
I literally
because
was like, yeah, fuck them.
I was really sad. I've
Meredith is
thought about it a
very
lot over
sensitive
the
about this.
last week. Like really, really took it all to heart. I'm dead serious. I've thought about it on multiple occasions.
Okay, I want to be clear of Kira's mom. I did not think about you once until right now. So shout
I
out to you, I
just
guess.
I really thought hard about if I'm misogynistic, and I have come up with I don't think I am.
I think you're fine. It's a TV show.
I
I
have a
don't
whole
fucking
reasons why, but it's just not even worth the time.
fine, whatever. Okay, so from last episode, Dustin said, have a lot of thoughts, just want to say it while it's on my mind. This season has been rough to watch because it
Mhm.
feels like a bunch of the drama is coming from people getting offended on behalf of others, which I can't stand. That's really a good point,
Hmm,
just or
that's
Dustin.
true.
That's
It's a lot
it.
of telephone talk, and that's not that fun without real confrontation.
Yeah, and the people involved don't really like stay involved. It's everyone else.
Yeah.
Touchgate was the only thing because the girls made it, or Touchgate was only a thing because the girls made it a thing. Lindsay and Carl are so above it, it didn't even affect them. Yeah,
That
they're
yeah.
adults. They're fucking adults.
But
I
even like
did,
from Austin's side, it's like he did make it a thing too. But you're right, it was like one-sided. It was this
I
group talking about it, and the people
mhm.
involved didn't care.
I saw a TikTok of Amanda and Sierra on a podcast where the question was like, why did you care about Touchgate if no one else did? And they were basically like, well, if it's on a TV show, we like have to talk about it.
Okay,
So
you
like
don't
we were
have
just doing
to.
our jobs. And I was like, bring it up, squash it. It did not
I'll
need to be
I'll
three
back him up on like
episodes.
yes, you should. I'm happy that they are taking like that they are thinking about that they should provide entertainment and talk about things, but when it's not landing or causing anything, like you gotta let it die.
Find something else
And
to
it does have
really
to do with
dig
the
into.
editors like making this a
Yes.
whole thing and keeping all this footage around when it wasn't even interesting too.
Yeah, agreed. I just don't that everyone is acknowledging this was not a thing. Amanda and Sierra are trying to be like, but it's our
But
job.
we
And
had to, and I'm like, we
I
didn't
get
have
it to an
to.
extent, but it was like unnecessary.
Entertain Austin talking of it, talk about it, but when
They should, you know what they should have done? They should have went to Lindsay and been like, Austin fucking said this, and he's a
yes.
dick.
And not the way Amanda did, like
No,
3 days later, like, I'm just
but like Austin's the truth. None of
yeah,
that shit.
no.
Make Austin the villain. That would have been
Pour
great.
gasoline,
Yeah,
give Lindsay a bottle of gasoline and walk her
Lindsay
towards the fire that is
would have loved.
Austin.
Even sober, she would have lit that fire. Would have been great. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Paige and Sierra are on a tear this season and it's gross. Anyway, great show. Thanks, Dustin. Paige and Sierra, I think just they
It's it's weird.
it's
I that you sent me a TikTok about this season, and the girl said like something's off and like something's missing, but I can't pinpoint it. Just like that girl couldn't either. There's just everything people are giving me. I understand why they're giving like
I just
fights
don't
and
want it.
a little drama, but it's not hitting or landing the way it
Yes.
needs to. It's not enough, or something's like they're going about it wrong. I think the problem is a lot of times people have complaints or brain drama, but there's the other party isn't playing with it. Whether it be the Lindsay with the touchgate or even tonight in this episode, like Rachel voices an opinion or like her thoughts at that dinner, and like Jess doesn't say anything back. Like people aren't
We'll get
responding
into it.
back.
Yeah.
So I think that's a lot of this season is like something comes up and it's like, oh, and we're all like, yes, but there it never ends up being like a fight or a tiff or a really resolved real conversation that has a full circle moment.
I just think honestly Sierra's not like very good at reality TV.
That
And I
too.
think Paige is
I think she's a
good.
good supporting character of like Paige.
Sure.
And we
I
need
think
those, but there's no stars on this
But
season.
I'm also going to say Paige isn't that good. I think Paige gets into great situations and can handle herself, but she can't make the situation. Lindsay can make a
Yeah.
situation.
Paige is good on the fly.
Kyle can make a
Paige is good at
situation.
reacting to things.
Yes, she's a reactor, and that's fine.
Yeah,
But as
she's
a main
defense,
character,
she's not offense.
yeah, as an offensive player, it's not it.
That's a good point. Yeah,
Okay.
there's no offensive players.
Lindsay and
But she's
Kyle
not
are offensive
anymore.
players. Lindsay's not anymore. Kyle is, but he's toning it down for Amanda. And Amanda's also trying to be offensive, but she's not.
She's not good
There's
at it.
none of them. Craig could be offensive. That's okay. I can get on board with Craig being crazy, but whatever. Okay, we still have a lot to get through.
Yes.
So listening to the second half of your convo about Jess's comments, I agree. Jess needs to temper the shit she says and maybe not say anything, or maybe not say everything on her mind. I wish we saw her say the things Rachel says she said. I don't think Rachel is lying, but it would have been nice to hear straight from Jess. I agree. As you saw, as you heard, I was super confused about like
And they
what was happening.
replay. I think Rachel's and like how she's taking things, it makes sense, and I really appreciate her I'll talk about this when it all comes up because I have a lot of opinions
Okay.
to share on
He
that
also says,
segment.
quote of the pod. Quote, I agree. I've never snowboarded or skied in my life, but I can attest that I think it would be hard. Meredith, timestamp 1 hour, 37 minutes, 2 seconds, made me laugh at work. LOL.
That's so funny. I was thinking this week, like, should we do a recap of funny moments of this whole entire year? And I would have to ask people to submit things that they remember. You won't have to give me the episode or timestamp, but like, what are funny moments that please DM me because I kind of want to put
Like if
something
we're
together.
funny.
Yeah, things that people just died over. Like if there's a moment where you're like, that was hilarious,
DM
DM
us.
me and I'll try and find it. And I want to stitch a few clips together because
that'd be great.
there are some moments where I cried laughing this year.
That'd be awesome. If you
but
guys
I just
could
don't
get
know
it.
when they were, like what show they even were anymore.
There's one. Okay, Casey has a lot of thoughts. So let's get into it. So that whole Austin blow up was solely because Sierra is the last person he had sex with, but that's clearly not the case with Sierra, and he didn't like that. And he has a girlfriend, LOL. Did he think Sierra was just sitting around pining for him? Also, what a douche for making it all about him and ruining the game in the night after one round. The hypocrisy.
I was thinking about that. Like,
horrible.
If she slept with someone in the house, like we thought it was from the previews, I could get him being upset that then Olivia couldn't come. That is on the same level. But her sleeping with someone outside the house is like him dating Olivia outside the house. Those are the same level.
I beated this with like a hammer last
hate
episode.
how possessive he ends up being of her.
Horrible.
Like he wants to have his cake and eat it too. He wants her to be an elf on the shelf sitting over there while he gets to play around with the reindeer in the front yard.
She also said,
I hate that Christmas analogy.
I hated that. I hated it. No one timestamped that. That was awful.
Please don't add
that. Okay. Carl and Lindsay have moved on in life and not sure how entertaining Summer House will be with a bunch of drunk people and they're sober. Just have a TV wedding and then start having babies. I agree. Fucking give me the babies.
I agree. Although Summer House is a lot more people, smaller stints, so I think it's a little looser than like Winter House ends up being.
Also, there's gonna be drama. Something happens with Danielle and Lindsay, and I want to watch it and I want to feel it.
And there's a lot of new people, so I think that could help. I don't know. I am nervous though, but
I think they're done after Summer House. I think this is the end of Carl and Lindsay. Okay, Jess is delusional. She's doing exactly what Luke was doing and trying to lock Corey down and not picking up on Corey's body language that he doesn't want that. But I think he does. I think he does, but he doesn't want it as fast.
It is different because the mutual feelings are there. Corey lives in realistic land, and Jess is in La La Land.
Yes.
Of like,
she's in the metaverse, if you will.
Yes. Where they can sign on and be in the same place.
Yeah. Okay. And getting mad when people are trying to let her in on it and talking to Luke about it, their faces when she said they're dating. It's safe. Also, I think she just doesn't know how to have girlfriends. I honestly hope she's not on Summer House. And I LOL every time y'all joke about her and the metaverse. Kind of goes with her delusion. I told you. She's fucking in the metaverse.
I watched that Summer House preview 4 times just to ensure that girl walking in with Corey was not Jess. And it's not.
No, yes.
I watched it 4 times because I was so concerned.
Listen, I think Jess's career in reality TV is done.
I think it's done for her too. Like, I don't think she wants it.
Yeah,
I don't think she had an enjoyable time in the Winter House either. Obviously, she didn't have an enjoyable time, but
I think the public has spoken, and this girl is not it. It's not the vibe.
Yeah. I don't want to like dodge on her too hard because like she's a person at the end of the day, and I just don't think it's for her.
Yes. Okay, last comment from Casey. I've been binge watching Southern Charm and I just watched the dog wedding episode, so it's all making sense now. And yes, the dog wedding was absolutely ridiculous.
I'm so happy
loved
I
it.
got Southern Charm done before I
Yes.
started this
Because it
because
really all overlaps now, but we will never do a Southern Charm podcast. So no one
no,
asked.
but it makes it's the prologue you really need.
Yes. Hilarious. I'm glad that I really went into a deep dive on this dog wedding and exactly what the fuck happened with Olivia and Austin.
Because it matters. It makes more
matters.
sense the Sierra versus Austin. And to know that Austin was the last or Sierra was the last person Austin slept with makes even more sense.
Yes. Okay, let's fly through this episode so we can talk about all the finale notes because those notes were all really good and we just need to relive it. Okay.
Yes.
So previously this season on Winter House, Amanda and Kyle have finally stopped fighting because they got married. Paige and Craig are dating and it's been a lot because Craig's literally insane and it's weighing on Paige, but Craig learned to control his anger just for Paige. We meet Rachel, like actually meet her because we did meet her on Summer House, but that doesn't really count. So we meet Rachel and she's single, but kind of feeling a spark with Jason. Corey and Jess are a fling, but they're like not on the same page of how far that fling is gonna go. Jess told Rachel that that Jess is a hot piece of ass, and Rachel has brains, and now the girls are all pissed that Jess said that. Austin has apologized to the house for being a dick in a previous life, but then continues to be a dick because like he's dating Olivia and he invited Olivia to the house, but Sierra wasn't okay with it. But now Austin's pissed that Sierra had sex with literally someone else that is unnamed before she even got here, and yelled at her. And now Sierra's done with Austin. So basically,
Finally,
everything
she's done with him.
Do we have any surprises and like what's happened? Literally none of this surprises.
No, but I enjoy a good like this season on like let's sum it all up. Like that looked exciting.
But none of it surprised me.
But we didn't need 9 episodes. If we had
you had
6,
asked me,
I think this would have been an incredible season again.
If you had asked me at the beginning of Summer House, like, do you think Sierra and Austin are going to be friends? I would have said no. Do you think Craig and Paige are going to make it? Sure. Do you think Amanda and Kyle are going to be fine? Sure. Do you think Jason's going to have a good season?
I would have thought that Austin and Sierra would have walked away friendly. But he's awful. Straight up shut him down. Knowing that Sierra could never let go of Austin too. I thought that they would leave in their same vagueness.
I'm like weirdly proud of her. Okay, let's get into it. So
I thought that you would be proud of her after this episode.
Yeah, I really shit on Sierra in the past, but I'm really proud
Deservedly.
of her. Yeah, she's awful sometimes. Okay, so it's Thursday, 5:32. Remember there was like wine crew and bike ski crew.
Totally forgot. I needed them to like
Here's my thing.
Make that make sense. They walked in the house and I was like, where were they?
We have to stop ending in the midst of
an
event. Have them come home and wake up. We could start an episode with them waking up. That would be awesome because it's like a new fresh start.
Yeah.
So whatever, people are coming home. We're gonna have an etiquette dinner tonight. It's like a Charleston tea party. And it was supposed to be Craig and Austin, but Sierra's basically like, these boys suck at Southern etiquette. So Sierra's gonna take over. Okay, so then Rachel knows she needs to have a talk with Jess tonight, so she's gonna work up to that. They set the table. Craig's making food. Jess is a little drunk. Amanda has Kyle eat a lamb chop. Everyone eats all this food before the dinner, and I wonder, was there a lot of food missing at this dinner?
I think the lamb chops ended up being like an appetizer, and it made me super hungry. People were just walking around with those things like it was Disney with a turkey leg,
like a popsicle. It looks so good. Okay, everyone's getting ready because dinner's at 8. So Austin says when he came into the house he didn't know where him and Sierra stood, but other than this latest fight he thought they were a 10 out of 10, and now he doesn't know where their friendship is. And I think a 10 out of 10, sir, is generous.
I think the most of the trip went very well.
I think it went okay. It's not like they were like,
but they shouldn't be
out.
besties. So I think this is how it should have gone prior to him making his dumbass comment.
Yes, but
of course it's Austin, so he can't not fuck it up.
He wants them to be besties though,
which is weird. Like they don't need to be because they don't live in the same city. If they were both on Southern Charm, I would get him wanting like to fix it, make it a little bit more normal.
Yeah.
But they don't live in the same city, and they will not make Paige and Craig that awkward because again, they don't live in the same city, and things like BravoCon, they could be friendly and operate around each other.
For those of us that watch Southern Charm, the way Craig treated Naomi should be how Sierra and Austin act.
Yeah.
Like there's clear space between
like we don't
us.
need to talk at events, but we can be at
Yes.
events.
Yes. Okay, so Rachel goes into Sierra's room, into her bed, but Jess is in the shower, and Rachel,
Which that was awkward because they were talking about her
while she was in the shower.
I was like, why are we doing this now?
Rachel is super hurt by what Jess said because Rachel grew up in an all-white town and she was adopted by a white family, and she feels like she wasn't set up for success as far as like she stuck out a lot. People made fun of her looks. So she has insecurities for being Asian and a woman. Yeah, and a woman. So don't comment on people's looks or bodies because then it makes it dependent on self-worth. So she's like working through these.
I'm gonna hold my commentary until the conversation actually happens because I have a lot I want to talk through, I'll say.
Okay. So Rachel and Paige are at the table, and so Rachel had helped Jason like pick out a shirt, and now Paige and Rachel are at the table. Jason comes in and he just like asks the question, leaves, and Rachel looks at Paige and just goes, I wish Jason had chino pants. And Paige goes, don't sweat about it, because remember
she goes, these are things we can fix.
Yeah, Craig's I was like an awful dresser.
It's hard sometimes as a girl though to see the potential of a guy with the little things that you can change about him, like a wardrobe. You can edit that.
But Rachel just wants to buy him a new pair of pants.
Yeah, or like haircut. Like a girl, you could get a guy to change his haircut.
Anything.
It's personality you need to be on board with because that cannot change. But all the outside features, we can build our own man.
And Paige knows, I mean, she has done nothing since she started dating Craig than shit on his outfit choice all the time. So she's like
she kind of shepherded him into a good wardrobe with a little bit of shame, and it worked perfect.
He still kind of sucks at dressing sometimes
when he's not with her to like prep for it. But when he's in New York, I think he like looks good when he's in New York typically.
I think Craig's just awful. Anyway, okay, so it's dinner time. Sierra reads us the rules. We don't talk about sex, politics, and religion at a dinner table or abortions, as someone pointed out.
Family needs to hear these rules because we do not the abortion thing. Good God, we love hot button topics.
Oh my God, just mini stories. So my brother's autism, I talk about him all the time, but he goes to like a class every week that basically like will do basic going to the grocery store, like how to act in public. And for Thanksgiving, they did like what did we talk about at the table? And he came home and he was like, we don't talk about this or that. And he like listed things. And I was like, I'm going to literally talk so much politics. I'm going to immediately start questioning everyone's political views, Nick, at the dinner table. And he's like, that's not what's supposed to happen. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And me and my dad just started talking politics immediately, but like opposite of our beliefs, just to make my dad or just make my brother like mad. So funny. Anyway, no 4-letter words at this table. And Kyle goes, Kyle? Yeah, so if you think it's inappropriate, it probably is. And the punishment is shots, to which I would say every 4-letter word.
I thought this was going to end up being so fun because obviously like people are going to make like little jokes and then they take shots and then it would get worse in like a fun way. But again, we seem to not get the vibe of the parties either with this season. Like the intention of what the plan is never ends up coming to fruition. Except for Amanda's first party.
I immediately would have sworn and been like, guess I get a shot now. Yeah, like something.
That would have been so fun if we got a little bit of that dinner back and forth of like the etiquette or like hold your hands.
Yeah, or I'd be like, anyone want to have sex? And just be like, oh, shot for me. Like anything, just to like make it fun. Okay, Amanda does take food off of Kyle's plate, and that's not encouraged. But we talk about how Craig loved having wine with the girls because there was a lot of gossip, and Craig's a big gossiper, so it's fine. And the bike crew had fun too. And then Rachel does a little tap tap on her glass, and she has an announcement. So she does want to keep it classy because this is a classy dinner, to which I was like, wrong time then, let's not do it here. And now
I was so confused that this is what she ended up saying. I
It
thought she
was
was going to
not
give
the
a
time.
classy speech.
Yeah.
This
And
was
then it
not a
would get
dinner type conversation. I
no.
didn't appreciate the timing of this.
No, I didn't like that. But she says she doesn't talk a lot, but when she speaks, it's something that really bothers her. And then goes on to say that Jess said something that made her feel really shitty. And that guys don't come for her because she doesn't have tits or an ass, and they only talk to her because of her personality and not her looks. And Jess has what guys want. Which, if Jess said that, fine, it's super shitty. But also, in a weird way, I get what Jess means. And I know we talked about this last episode.
Yes. But that's
She
also okay. The what Rachel said
yeah
at the
didn't
table
match.
is not what Jess said. I understand that that's what she took it as.
Yes.
But that is not what Jess said. And so I do want to actually defend Jess, because it's one of those things where if somebody says that they do have something, now as a society we say, well, I don't. Like, if you have it, then I don't. And Jess was actually like dissing herself.
Saying
And
she
in the
doesn't
clips
have a
we got,
personality. Yeah.
yes. And Jess
In the
explained
clip we
it really
got.
well in her interview.
Yeah. I think my thing is, I don't know if Jess said this and we didn't get the clip.
What more she
which,
said.
like, fine. Yeah. But in the clip we got, it seemed like she was more pumping Rachel up a little bit, but also kind of dissing herself.
Yeah.
And I do see where it can get lost in translation. I get it. Yes. We were drunk. Jess is not good at communicating.
No.
There's already been a ton of
But I can see
Jess's
intent, and it like wasn't malicious trying to put.
It wasn't malicious.
She was trying to put herself down.
Yeah.
Not put Rachel down.
Yeah, because even Jess is like, that's not how the conversation went.
Yeah.
And Rachel says she felt hurt and invalidated. And Jess says she thinks the conversation was taken out of context, because, you know, what she meant was like she attracts guys, but she doesn't want them to come to her for her looks. But that's why they come to her. So then Rachel's like, I didn't want to, like, you know, make it a thing, but like it became a thing. And like, then Amanda's like, I'll say it. You said something to Kyle too, Jess, which I was like, different conversation.
These are not related.
No.
I mean, we can talk about overarching how Jess is terrible at communicating.
Yeah.
But these actually are not linked outside of just being terrible at communicating.
Nope. And it kind of sucks because Rachel was just trying to clear the air with Jess. And now Amanda's like, new topic of problems.
It became a committee of shitting on Jess at a dinner. And I think sometimes discussing things at dinner tables, it'll always turn to that, where one person feels like they're being ganged up on because everybody starts chiming in with all their little things. And I don't like Jess on a reality TV show, but I felt for her in this moment because she has not been with them at all today. No. And you sit down at a table and it becomes that I'm going to tell you something that obviously we all talked about this at the wine event, how you got to know that they did. But now we're going to talk about it together. And then other people are going to be like, and you did this, and you did that. And she's just shell shocked.
Yeah, I didn't like this. So whatever. Amanda brings up like what happened with Kyle. And it's outed that Jess is mad at Paige and Jason because she doesn't think they believe in her and Corey. And Kyle said, well, she said diminished and minimized kind of thing, you know, trying to, I think, make it better, but not great.
Trying to get the message that she actually said correct.
Like even correctly what she said. Yes. So then Paige says, like, why do you think I'm not nice? All I do is like be nice to you, and you like are still shitting on me, which this is where I'm like, yes, this is a conversation we can have with Jess, because she did say those things and was like completely wrong because she like didn't understand what you were getting at.
And well, the Kyle conversation is more of a group conversation because it involved multiple people. So this can be a dinner conversation in my book.
The Rachel conversation
should have been one-on-one more. Or like if Rachel needed support, somebody being there.
This was fine because I also think Kyle and whoever else said it got the point across that like that it was exactly what was said.
Jason said you need to come to the person if you have a problem instead of going a roundabout way. And like I brought you here, you should be able to come to me and tell me that you're upset that I said something.
Yes. So then Paige, like Jason, I think handled it really well, where she's like, I brought you here, you should have come to me. But Paige is like, you're always saying I'm not nice, but I'm nice. And I don't really give a fuck what happens to you or what gives a fuck about Corey. Like, Jesus Christ. And I was like, Paige is freaking out a little bit.
You're taking it too far.
It's really not a big conversation. So Jess then is like, everyone's coming at me.
Mm-hmm.
And she even says, like, she understands the Rachel thing, but like this is just feels like a big audience of shitting on her.
Yeah.
Which I get, because I think Rachel also, even though it wasn't a dinner conversation, presented it as like, this comment you made hurt my feelings. And Jess can understand it was a miscommunication, like whatever, I'll apologize.
Yeah.
This other shit, she's like, what?
And
what's happening?
Kyle notices that like the conversation has turned from a really sensitive topic that Rachel already felt uncomfortable bringing up.
Okay.
And he goes to her and is comforting her in a really sweet way.
Yeah.
And starts to realize like, hey guys, like let's stop the conversation about everything else, because it is taking away from Rachel having the confidence to speak up about something.
Yeah. So Kyle says that he cares, you know, he like whispers to Rachel, I care about you. And Rachel does say to Kyle, like, she's just frustrated. It became about like something different. Mm-hmm. And she just wanted to like get her feelings out. So then Austin's actually the one that's like, okay, you guys, Rachel's like literally crying.
Yeah.
Like, why don't we take a minute? Because she's trying to express her feelings and y'all are ignoring them. And Paige immediately turns to Austin and is pissed and is like, oh, you shouldn't be sticking up for women.
I hated that.
I did too. I was like, but Rachel's actually crying. Like, he's
wrong. Actually doing the right thing
for once.
Like later on, he can't say like, you don't care about women or whatever. If he like made a comment later about them not being attentive to a girl, yes, you could come out him for that. But he is trying to draw attention that you have lost focus on your friend who is crying and upset and wanted to voice her opinions.
And you took it a different way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so Rachel's just like, it's fine, I'm having a moment. And the boys are like, no, it's not fine. Like, you should have your moment. And then Paige and Craig start arguing now because she's like yelling at Austin. And Craig is now like, Paige, no.
Rein it in.
Stop. And she's like,
Paige is like capitalizing on the opportunity to shit on Jess and Austin on everything. Like, this was the weirdest thing ever.
Because then she's like, Austin's coming at me. And Craig's like, he's not though. No. Like, you're not listening to the conversation.
Paige is in attack mode. This is where, yes, she's good at like defense, but then she gets lost in it.
She's now trying to be on offense again. And I'm like, go back. I think the Jess moment, she came on offense really quick. And then the Austin moment, she was on defense, but like, shut it down so fast that it became a weird offense, because now she's like, Austin's starting shit with me, and everyone's like, no, he's not. It's not happening.
He's trying to point at it that you're getting lost in the woods of this. Corey is, you know, like Craig's best friend, and you're going to be in every woman's life, whatever. Like, I can't. We don't care.
So even though Amanda kind of started this whole debacle, she does grab Rachel and remove her from the situation. Jess is crying. Austin's weirdly making the most sense. And I'm like, what's happening here? I like don't know how this got away from me.
The best thing that happened is everybody being like, we need to split up. So the guys go outside.
Okay. Yeah.
And
so
like you said, Amanda
and Rachel first talk in the kitchen. And Rachel said she didn't say it like she didn't want to make it like this. And I was like, Rachel, but you brought up this.
You brought it to the table. So you got to realize like what the like venue is. Yes. It was always going to become this if you make this a dinner conversation.
Yeah, but Rachel's just upset because I think she's uncomfortable and she never expresses how she feels. I do kind of think there was maybe some pressure because Rachel doesn't seem like the type to be like, I'm gonna bring it up at a fucking dinner table.
Yeah,
I think there was a little bit of production, maybe like bring it up here. And so she's already, my thought is she's very overwhelmed. She's obviously nervous. She brings this up. It goes completely off topic. And now she's just like crying because she's like, I don't know. And
she said, like, I don't want this attention. This is so uncomfortable. Like, actually, don't bring the conversation back to me.
That's why I think someone pressured her to do it at dinner.
That's true. Whether it was like people, like actual people on TV or the producers. I bet there's a lot of both, because remember in Summer House when Sierra, how could we ever forget when Sierra threw the wine glass and Paige is like pumping her up? That's part of the like also being a good star is like getting people to actually have these types of conversations. So I bet on the drive home they're like, it's fine, we'll see her at dinner. Like, we can talk about it, we've got you.
not great. And I only got this vibe
Ugh.
when Rachel was like, I don't want it all about me, because I was like, you
Mhm.
presented it in a way that would only be about you, girl.
Yeah.
So I'm weird. But okay, so then at the table, Craig is like, the men are gonna leave. And Austin's like, yeah, because when you're a man and you speak in this group, you get buried. And
At
Craig's
which I
like,
was like, shut the fuck up. Now
that's
you're
when
off
Craig
base.
is like, all right, like, let's go. And it was so funny to
You
me that
deserve it
Craig,
most of the time. You did it one good time.
I literally don't know how Craig ended up shushing Paige and Austin. Like, he's like, Paige, shut up. Austin, get out. Like, he's just like,
Go outside.
Jesus. So Sierra responds though and says to be insecure and white and tall. And I literally laughed
I
so
died
hard.
at it.
That was
Even
so
though
good.
Austin was right in the first sense, I was like, come for him. He
That
deserves
was
to
so
always
funny.
be come for
Just to
in
add
that type of way.
and tall just
Yeah.
like sent me. So then Kyle's with Rachel and Amanda, and he said he was tearing up listening to Rachel. And then that's when Jess walks in and she's like, hey, Rachel, can I talk and apologize to you? And Rachel says, like, she doesn't want to hear it tonight. It came across Rachel being like a little bitchy, but I think it was more of like, she is so goddamn overwhelmed. She was like, I just want to go.
I thought about this moment for a lot because I was like, how dare Rachel like not give her that opportunity? But then I thought, well, Jess did that to Luke at the beginning of this vacation, you know, like, I want to get my feelings out and they're not up for discussion.
Yes.
So
this is a boundary.
This
like,
is what happens.
Ready to hear
you
it.
did it too. And so I feel a lot on both sides of like, let her talk, but let her not. This is an awkward thing, but she did it as well.
So then Jess says she doesn't feel like she deserves the heat, but should have assumed because she didn't spend time getting to know the girls and they all went out for wine today. And that's just an excuse to talk shit about her, which is true.
It's
but
true.
also I was like, Jess, don't just assume they're these bitches, like, even though they are these bitches.
Like, they're becoming part of the problem, but the root problem is
Jess.
The miscommunication between Jess and Rachel, and it needs to be addressed. And then also Jess miscommunicate, or not really miscommunicating, but not talking to the right person on the other side of things.
It's so just bad.
This like the wine, sitting at a table drinking wine was not the problem.
No. But I just want to be clear, this was like the messiest dinner, but like also it wasn't good enough.
Yes, it was messy without it being worth it.
Yeah, like the wine throwing, that was worth it. I would watch that. That was the greatest, messiest thing.
Because they reacted back to each other. Jess really didn't say much at the table. And that's what I think is missing from this season, is Jess just goes, okay, I'm sorry. Like, girl, stand up and be like, I did not say that. Like, I'm sorry if you are upset and that you're feeling these feelings, but I did not say that. And how dare you say that to everybody here? Yeah, I wanted that.
I would have even loved if she turned to Amanda and Paige and was like, what does this have to do with Rachel? Like, if Jess had just said something like, why are you coming at me for a different reason now?
Yeah. Yes.
Like anything. But instead she just sat there and like cried, and like Rachel started crying and then
was
Paige
like a blank face,
Austin.
yeah.
Like, it was just weird. It was just all weird. Okay, so it's now Thursday, 10:57 p.m. The guys are all outside. Everyone's like, good for Austin for sticking up for Rachel. And I'm weirdly like,
yeah,
because
let's praise him for that. Like, that was a good thing.
Jason's like, I didn't see her crying or else I would have said something. And I'm like, Austin did something Jason would do. Like, I can't comprehend.
Rubbing off. Okay, the rest of the evening got kind of fun.
Yeah. Okay. So Corey is like, outside, the boys are like, let's talk about Jess. And Corey's like, I understand where Jess is coming from because she feels like everyone's projecting the relationships of like past, I don't know what past experience relationships, but of past onto them. But Corey says they're not going to date because like this is a fucking vacation.
We've been here for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Realistic Corey here.
And then Luke's like, dude, but you said you're dating.
That was the best. I was like, and he's like, what?
Corey shook. So then Craig,
I wish I would have been there in real life. Rarely do I wish I was in the moment.
Yeah, it would have been so funny.
Would have loved to be there to be like, yeah, dude, she's
but then like
everyone
on cue when that happens, Craig's like, she's in the window and Jess is just looking. And what happened was the girls were talking about Austin. It was Paige, Sierra, and Jess, and they were like
still at the
talking
table
about Austin shitting on Olivia a little bit, and Paige goes, open the window so we can hear what those idiots are talking about. So Jess gets up to the window. And then that's when they're like, she's in the window. So she looks
It
insane.
looks so
It
stalkerish.
looks so bad. Yeah, it looks like a stalker. So then, okay, Jess goes outside and grabs Corey. But meanwhile, Austin, Jake, Luke, and Craig play a game called Name Someone You're Annoyed With. And Jason and Luke say Jessica, but Austin says he's just pissed because he got yelled at for being a man. You know me, I love to squeeze the men and make them look good. I hate the men. I hate them
I'm
all.
just like, Austin, you are the
That's
punching
not-
bag. You make yourself the punch. Like, you make me want to punch you in the face. You did something so good tonight, and I can't even keep sticking up for you because I hate you in every other facet.
Those girls don't know how hard it is to
They're
have a
so
fucking
mean.
penis. I have a
They're
penis
so
and they're
mean to
mad.
me. What did Sarah say? It is so tough to be white,
Like
tall, insecure,
to be
white
insecure,
and tall.
white and tall.
so rough.
White and tall men have nothing to be insecure about. Calm down.
Good
like
God.
Jesus Christ. Horrible. So Corey and Jess go into Jess's room, and this is where Jess gets caught. So Jess is so pissed that they make her feel like the ugly duckling, which I assume means left out and not ugly, but also knowing Jess, it could mean ugly. Like, she's like, they make me seem ugly. Because then she says, oh, Rachel fits in, but I'm the ugly duckling. Bitch, I'm the hottest one here. And I'm like, it's not, not.
But it shows you the way she's thinking. Is she doesn't realize looks have nothing to do with these people, because honestly, they're all good looking people. Like, I'm gonna be honest, ugly people are not on reality TV. So like, when
we're not on reality,
I am never gonna be on it. And if I was, I would have to have a fucking glam squad 24/7. But glammed up, hot, like primed, proper people are on reality TV. So like, okay, sure, you're the hottest one of all the hot people. Who cares? It's about the connections and the conversations. Like, she always goes for looks when it's not the thing they're talking about.
Yeah, it's very obvious that in this moment she is like, because I'm so hot, they should be begging to be my friend.
Yes.
But they choose Rachel. This was awful. This was so
you
awful.
can see how what Jess is actually saying and how people are taking it do sometimes misalign.
Yes.
Because she's not saying Rachel's ugly, but then you are like, well, the way you're implying certain things, how could I not take it that way?
Yes, I think she's trying to say I'm the one left out, like the ugly duckling, but it comes off
when I'm the best person. But then it comes off as,
well, how'd Rachel get in? Because she's the ugly duck. Like, we didn't have to even bring Rachel into it. Yes. It's weird.
You're slighting her for the things. It ends up you're slighting her for the things that you say you have. So it comes off as the absence of saying, like, oh, you let her in, but not me when I'm the hottest. It comes off as then she's the least hot or she's not hot.
This is then where I was like, maybe she did fucking say those things to Rachel, because she obviously thinks them somewhere.
Or like gave it in a same nuanced way that it's the app, like it's an either or. So like, I'm this and you're that.
Yeah, this was awful. Corey does tell her to stop, but then Jess is like,
I'm so happy he said stop it. They even put the words at the bottom.
Stop it. Yeah. And then Jess says, want to watch porn. But then the boys FaceTime Corey and he's like, okay, I'm coming out with the boys. And Jess is like, are you fucking serious? Like, I'm having a really hard time. And he goes, I'll be back in 10 minutes. I promise. So we get timestamps because it is right.
What? She's very naggy right here. Like,
I hate a nagger. Girly, I hate the nag.
You are not dating. You can't be like, I can't believe you're going out the bros. We have 3 days left.
Also, listen, girlies, I have figured it out. If you ever don't want your man to hang out with the bros for some reason, and he's like, I'm gonna go hang out with the bros, you go, oh, have such a fun play date. And it totally makes it super fucking weird that they're like, what? And you're like, your play date with the boys. And it sounds so dumb, and boys get so butthurt about it, and I don't know why.
That's a good one, because they get like so like, what? It like becomes not manly and like, cool.
I started using it on my dad just to be funny in COVID, because he would have his friends over in the garage and my mom would buy them pizza and I'd be like, oh my God, Dad, what time's your play date? And I noticed how mad he got about it. So I started using it on even just my guy friends. If they were like, let's go out and have a bros night. I'd be like, oh, when's your guys' play date? When are you going to do that?
That's
and then
a
they
good
would
one.
literally invite me the day of. They'd be like, do you want to come? It's like it was living rent free in their minds that it became a play date. So Jess, you playing it wrong, girls. Be like, have so much fun.
That's a good one. Because it is
But-
hard. Like I can see how she wants the
Yes,
quality time with
support.
him. But again, they're on different love pages on like
Yes.
what this relationship is. So she thinks they're dating and wants her boyfriend to sit with her when she's sad. But he's like, we're all just a group.
He's here to
together.
party.
Everybody's on the same level.
Yeah. He's leaving in a day. He's got to
he's got to squeeze out every last play date with these bros.
Squeeze into the play dates.
All the play date hours.
So it's now Friday, 12:12 a.m. The boys are trying to lift Austin up to the second floor to Paige and Craig's room, but they drop him, which was one of my favorite moments in the world.
Karma, baby.
And then the boys are gonna like go up to Sierra and
they were like throwing stuff up there.
Yeah, so they were like throwing stuff up, and then they were like, we're coming up, and Sierra, Paige, and Rachel are like, oh my god, no. And they like run into Sierra's room, and so all the boys go into Paige and Craig's room, and they're like, where are they? And then the girls like run and hide. The boys go back outside, and the girls come at them with snowballs. I don't know where they got snow, but it was so fun.
I wonder if they went out front,
maybe
grabbed it all, and like
it was very fun.
I love it. This is the cool part of living in a house with a bunch of people.
Yeah,
like the spontaneous little things that happen.
It's very fun. Maybe if Jess like just puts herself out there, she would. Maybe Corey's like, I'm gonna go hang out with the boys, and Jess is like, I'll go at least get
I'll go find the girls.
Water or something. Yes. So then, because Corey eventually goes back to her, but it's 12:35 a.m. now, which is a little over 20 minutes.
Ooh,
that he was gone.
She left the room. I didn't look at the timestamps, but she left the room. So when he got back, she wasn't there.
She's like, that was over 10 minutes.
Which that would annoy me as Corey if you just literally like cried and whined that I left and then now you're not here.
I'd have been Corey. I wouldn't have cared. I would just been like,
I would have left again. I would have been like, well, she's not here. I guess I'll go back to the boys.
I would have been like, that was 10 minutes. You weren't here. I was actually here.
I've been laying here for 10 minutes.
Yeah. So, okay. Friday, 12:23 a.m. It's snowing outside. Everyone's waking up. Craig's making some French toast for Paige because it's their anniversary. And Luke's helping Craig because Craig hasn't made French toast in a really long time. And
Luke is such a good person.
Amazing.
Remember how this vacation started? They hate each other.
Exactly. So Jason checks in with Rachel, and Rachel's really drained, but Jason wants to take her out, but unfortunately the snow is going to make that really difficult, so he's going to plan an activity and it's a surprise, so just Rachel be ready.
My heart was so warm,
literally so cute.
But here's the problem in my real life. If somebody did this to me, I'd be like, no thank you,
why
am not attracted to you anymore, because the minute you're cute and you're nice and you seem wholesome, I'm like, oh, you're a normal whole-heeled person. I can't. I subconsciously like the drama and the back and forth.
No, Meredith, when I say I want to meet someone in the wild, I want it to be like this, where we're living together and he falls madly in love with me, but I put in no extra effort to do anything or go anywhere.
Well, you need to come live in my digital nomad houses, because this can happen that way.
I love that. Okay, so Craig and Luke talk about how great Craig and Paige are doing. And Craig, he pictures himself as the man in a Hallmark Christmas movie that falls in love. And basically that's what he's doing right now. He's in Vermont. There's snow falling. He's in love.
Yeah, the backdrop is ready for the Hallmark movie.
Yeah. And as he's describing this, they played that piñata scene where he beats up the piñata.
Well, he says he hasn't been acting that way to get his Hallmark movie. And I'm like, you're right, sir. And I appreciate the self-awareness.
Yes. And then he goes upstairs saying he doesn't know if Paige likes French toast. But who doesn't love fucking bread?
I don't like French toast. I find it gross.
I ate French toast this morning. I love French toast.
A lot of things about it. I could do a whole 20-minute monologue on why I don't, so I will withhold that. But yeah, I don't. But I would eat it. If somebody didn't know if I liked it and made it for me, I would eat it. It's just, if you asked me what I wanted, I'd be like waffles, because I like that they're crunchy and I want chocolate chips in them.
Love French toast. Okay, so Sarah and Amanda check in with Rachel. Rachel, being such a good person, feels bad that Jess probably feels awful today. And today is also Jess's birthday party. So like Rachel's over it. We're all going to be over it and move on and have fun.
I appreciate that Rachel's like, I just needed to voice my feelings.
Yes.
And I don't need it to be an we hate Jess movement for the rest
No.
of the time.
So Craig gets flowers delivered. Happy anniversary, baby.
I wish their anniversary was not during this. I'm
Why?
happy that Craig is a good boyfriend, but like I don't care about their anniversary.
Well, I thought it was funny that Paige clearly was like half out of her sleep, not fully there. Craig goes,
I thought it was gonna be one of those moments where she was fake asleep, kind of in movies.
Yeah.
But no, she legit was asleep.
She was like, hello. Craig goes, how's the French toast? And she goes, it's a little burnt, but because she's still half asleep. It's a little burnt. What a diss. This would be, I'm telling you, when you're mean to white dude, they love you more. Shit on him, Paige.
When I was watching him make it, I was like, that's burnt.
Yeah, I felt that too. I wouldn't like this French toast. If we're gonna make French toast, we're gonna do it right.
I would maybe eat it if Jason made it.
I would eat anything Jason made because he wouldn't burn it. He's a cook. No. Okay, so Craig and Paige won't see each other that much next month. But Craig says if Paige has a month or two free, she should spend it in Charleston. And she agrees to go for May and June.
Okay, she says May and June when they're sitting in the bed. In her interview, she goes May or June. Like later, I think she was like, maybe just 1 month, not two.
Good for it. Whatever. Great. Love it.
If you don't live with someone full time and then you go to their house,
that's a lot.
That's a lot. Like out of you place. Don't have anywhere else to go.
Yeah. Paige even says she's not fully ready to move in with Craig, but maybe for a few months and not in a vacation home.
Well, because I realized like then she's gonna be busy July, August, September with Summer House. Like she can't really go to Charleston. So
I was gonna say she's gotta be back
schedule wise. Yeah, they're a little booked up.
So then it is now Friday, 11:49 a.m. Luke is making cookies and then he's gonna make a fire and he wants everyone to play around in the snow.
He wants people to spend time in the snow. And I was like, sir, I can see you never doing Summer House again, but you will be the resident winter expert on Winter House.
Next Winter House, we should all go to Luke's cabin in Minnesota.
That would be fun.
I don't know why the fuck we're in Vermont. We could be in Minnesota.
I could even see a summer like weekend. They all go there for the weekend. Hop on that boat.
That Craig almost burnt down.
Thank God we still have it.
Kyle doesn't want to go home because then it's back to reality and he unplugged.
This was kind of cute. Like I don't want to go home. Like I love our life. Like I love having the space and time.
Yeah, Amanda and Kyle have never had a moment where Kyle wasn't working. So this was really great for both of them.
I flashed the last 6 years in my head and was like, you're horrible. Right. It's all That's bad. Terrible.
I went back to COVID Summer House where Kyle was just stressed and angry all the time.
I mean, remember they had the aluminum shortage?
Oh, horrible. So then Austin, he doesn't want to have a chat with Sierra. He
said she's happy and I don't think he wants to ruin like a good mood Sierra. Yeah. And
we're cool.
I've been there where you're like, I need to address something with someone, but I don't want to ruin the day.
He's like, Sierra and we're cool right now. We're just gonna ignore each other. We're happy. It's fine.
It's going.
But whatever. So even Craig says like it looks like Austin has feelings for Sierra. It looks bad. My dude Austin sucks. Okay, everyone gives Jess a hug. It seems like they're kind of over it for the day because
they're also being real peppy with her though, and you can tell that Jess people get weird. Treatment on their birthday that no one gives them any other day of the year. Yeah, everybody hugged her. No one would hug her on a normal morning.
Yeah. So Corey acknowledges this is Jess's birthday and he's happy that everyone can move past this alcohol infused argument. Luke, he's lugging a bunch of shit down a hill. He
in a box. That box would be disintegrated by the bottom of the hill because it's sopping wet from the snow now.
I love it. He basically acknowledges that he has had so much fun. He made maple syrup and no one cared.
The flashback.
He really does make maple syrup and no one cares. He's gonna have a fire out. It's a beautiful day, and he just hates the city. Like everyone's like, I can't wait to go home. And Luke is like, no, this is it. This is paradise, you guys.
You know what? I want another season of Winter House. I want Luke's maple syrup front and center, like right next to a lover boy. I want as many maple syrup jars as there are lover boy cans. And I want a maple syrup making saga.
Can we also just like, I think we need to have a survival game where all the men prove their manliest by spending a day out in the cold.
A lumberjack day.
Yeah, and Luke wins. Like Luke easily beats the shit out of these dudes. Yeah.
Can you chop down a tree? Can you make some maple syrup? Can you make a mini snow?
Can you make a fire? Can
a
you guys
fire?
make a
Yeah,
fire?
get little. Yes. Can you like?
Yeah.
Let's get those ice skates out and like let's have little ice skating races.
Yeah, I want there to be winter games that Luke will only win. I don't want him to be dependent.
I want one where someone else wins and it's like, whoa, someone else won.
But like, I don't want it to be a team game where Paige knocks her face into a table and now Luke loses by default.
I do want a snowball fight.
I would love a snowball fight. I would love Luke swinging from the trees, hitting people with snowballs. I want Luke to be Winter Tarzan, basically.
Love.
I want him to live off the land.
I like this.
Okay, so Jason and Rachel get ready for their date. Kyle's like, hey guys, we should join Luke outside and appreciate the snow. Probably because no one wanted to, but Kyle's gonna round him up for
we kind of need to give Jason and Rachel some space on their date.
Yes. So Jason has set up, he basically put a sheet in like that living room that's on the main floor to kind of section it from the house, and he has flowers and vines everywhere.
He did very well.
He set up like a painting station
and the fire was going.
The fire's going. He's got a bottle of wine, and Rachel loves it. And she knows that they'll have a connection no matter what, and she trusts Jason because he's never let her down, which is like melts my whole fucking heart. So
I was thinking, I'm destroyed that she is dating someone else in real time.
Oh,
I want to know what the hell went down.
I want to know what happened.
I'm pissed.
Why
did you need to hard launch this relationship while this is coming out? You couldn't let me like live in this fantasy that you and Jason are together and just give me 3 more weeks until you announce your relationship.
I know, like, remember Maya and Oliver? That was fun because it was still happening when it was airing, and we were like, oh my god. And they broke up, and now I don't care, honestly.
But they didn't. But like, even if they like broke up mid-season, like keep your mouth shut and let me live in the fake world that was months ago.
Tag each other in pictures, so I think you're dating. Okay, so but they're gonna paint like pictures and then give them to each other, which is very cute. And they drink their wine.
If a boy handed me his dumb little photo and now I have to pretend
I thought Jason did a really good job.
Yeah, but I don't want to take it home with me. I hope that they just left him at the house. That is why I hate those painting activities, because then you have to keep the dumb painting.
I love a painting activity. Okay, but
I want to do it, but I don't want to take it home with me.
No, I love this. Don't listen to Meredith. She's stupid. So, Rachel doesn't remember the last time she did an activity date, but she loves it. And then so fun. And Rachel and Jason decide they're going to drive back together, and Jason's going to meet Rachel's cat because he has to help her bring in her bags.
This is giving me hope, but I'm living in the la la land that they're together.
Me too. I refuse to acknowledge Rachel's boyfriend.
Yeah, I won't talk about him ever again.
Okay, so we're at the fire. Luke and Austin are making s'mores and talking, and Austin knows he needs to talk to Sierra. And it feels like him and Sierra are breaking up. And I was like, dude, you got another girl. You should have been broken up.
Yeah, like that probably is their main problem. And I think somebody says it later on as like they need to define what they are, because honestly, everything has always been undefined. It's this weird constant gray area. And that is why hookups sometimes are really hard, because there's no like real, I don't think you need a massive closure, but you never defined what you are. So then to go to friends is weird because you never weren't friends sometimes.
I agree. It's weird. So then everyone's out by the snow. Rachel asked Jess to talk after her date, and Rachel just basically says she's not mad at Jess. And Jess acknowledges that she knows what she said was offensive and she loves Rachel, and they hug. Rachel obviously doesn't know what Jess said to Corey in her room, but that's why I need a reunion. But whatever.
Yes. I don't think I think Jess takes each moment as like a blip, like, oh, I said that thing wrong, but it's like, no. You are really bad at communicating with people.
Yeah.
Like, you need to really look at how you're interacting with people in this world, because that's the
Yes.
problem. It's not always exactly what you say, because then you won't ever say that exact sentence again or that exact phrase again. But it's how things are coming off and how people are perceiving what you're saying is just not doing
Not
well.
it.
And like talking to people behind their back when they have more loyalties to other people, like, you just aren't interacting with groups well.
Yeah. So the girls are baking a cake for Jess's birthday. She's turning 25. Crazy. She's a
Okay.
baby.
I thought about when they said 25, I was like, whoa, this is basically how when Paige came into Summer House and Lindsay, I mean, they have a much bigger age gap, but like, now we have like the main girls of Summer House are like older, and they're the older ones in the house, whereas like there's new young fresh blood, and this is an interesting dynamic that they're the older ones this time.
Yeah. It's crazy. Okay, but Amanda and Kyle also wanted to have a stages of life party, so they're gonna incorporate it into Jess's
I
birthday.
actually thought it
So
fitted well.
yeah, this was a great
I want
party
to have a
theme.
stages of life party.
This is great. So Jess calls her sister. Corey walks in and sees she's on FaceTime and leaves. And Jess is always like, why do you always leave when I'm on FaceTime? Which weird. She wants Corey to be involved. But
This is where she's not picking up his actions and realizing he's not committed like she is. He doesn't want to meet your friends and family on FaceTime, because that is something someone who is like serious about you would do. So Corey's trying to keep boundaries. And it's weird to me that she doesn't recognize that, or isn't more upset if
right
she thinks
over
they're
her head.
dating.
Yeah. So Jess does tell her sister she likes Corey a lot and points to her ring finger.
I was mortified because mentally I like fall in love with boys, and I'm like, oh my God, in 3 seconds we're getting married. But
I know we're not.
Yes, I know I'm crazy. And if I were to be like, oh, we're going to get one right here. When I was hooking up with a boy, I'm literally flashing to boys in my mind. And I'm like, oh, if I told someone I thought we were going to get married, wow.
I do that as a joke. I'll be like, I've met the love of my life. He will never leave me. He's in love, but I'm never actually
so
like
serious.
He better give me a ring.
And
Mine's like a Paige. Remember when Craig was like, do you want to come meet my family? And she's like, you love me. You're obsessed with me. You're going to get married.
Yes.
That is me. I'm like,
yes.
You're obsessed. Thank you for doing that.
But even Paige, if Paige was like, oh, put one right here.
She makes it joking.
But
I would never say
But if she did that even, and she's been dating Craig for 6 months, I'd be like, Paige, rein it in. It's been 6 months, honey. I can see you guys might get married in like a year or two, but like, or engaged, rein it in, because like, I'm nervous for you. Yeah. And then to have to watch this back, this is why I could never be on reality TV to watch my dumb shit back like this. There's no way Jess is watching this season, but like, I'd be mortified if I were her.
She shouldn't. So it's Friday, 6:32 p.m. We're setting up for the party. Jason's cooking again. Some notable costumes. Amanda and Kyle are old people. So is Luke. Sierra's got like a swimsuit on. Her boobs look great. She's like a sugar baby.
I loved, especially when she like interacts with Luke.
That was fun. See, Luke and Sierra can be friends. Luke is such a good dude.
Because they talked about it in the Summer House. They had a conversation about pursuing something, and she said no. But no, Austin and Sierra never have.
Yeah. So Jason's a baby.
I love when full diaper. I'm like, aren't you cold?
I know. I love when Jason calls Amanda grandma. He's like, grandma. Paige is pregnant, and her and Craig are like a couple that has kids. And then Craig, this part made me squirm. It made me throw up. He has a friend that has a pregnancy fetish, and he never got it until now, seeing Paige pregnant.
I understand like falling more in love with her, like seeing her in a different light while she's like fake pregnant. But adding on the like person who has a fetish made it so weird.
Yeah, you don't have a fetish. You love Paige, and now you're like seeing a future with Paige.
Yes, this is
you don't love pregnant women.
Please don't say you get the fetish.
I wonder who his friend in Charleston is that has this fetish. Is it Whitney? I'm just
kidding. No,
it's not Whitney. No, Whitney hates pregnant women.
Craig, that could have been really cute.
Yes.
To be like, wow, this is so like crazy to see our future. Like he did say that at the end, but all I was thinking is gross.
Yeah, he's like, I'm really attracted to Paige with our future baby in her belly. That's great. Your friend with a pregnancy fetish did
Had
not have to be
nothing to do with
mentioned.
this.
Okay, so Paige, or no, Sierra's looking for the sugar daddy. She's got Luke. Jess and Corey are teenagers. Austin is Joe Exotic or Joe Dirt or just a bunch of question marks. The Bravo editors did him
I
dirty. They hit
obviously
him
he's just like
dirty.
middle aged, but I'm like, it's
He's a mullet. That's it. He's Joe Exotic. So we go to the living room for dinner. Everyone's gonna go around and say their favorite moments. Jason loved getting to know the Toms. He's so sweet. Oh my
that
god, I
was a
love
good
Jason.
memory.
That
This
was
was
great.
fun because then they pull in like little clips and
Yeah. Paige loved spending a full 2 weeks with Craig. Craig also loved the same. Amanda's favorite thing was being with her happy man, and she says it in her grandma voice, which is great. Jess says
well, what's hard is so you get the couples. I don't know what order they actually went, but
it was Paige, Craig, then Amanda and Kyle.
like when they were sitting
Oh,
and
in
actually
the
talking
cut.
about it,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like did they edit it that way? It's interesting if it went an opposite order and Jess still said this.
Yeah. So Jess says having her connection with Corey, and Corey says his favorite part was when they ripped it down the hill on the second day. And
Because he
man,
says
was
they bonded, like the way he explained it was like it was so great because like we all started talking and that was
we
so
bonded in the
fun.
house. Yeah.
And the whole table was silent.
Jess
And I'm
is
like,
just
this
like,
is so awkward. Because I get the couples being like, I'm so happy I spent my 2 weeks with each. Shut up and give me a real thing. Like, give me a fun moment you loved in the house.
yeah.
I would hate if my friends did that in couples. I'd be like, give me like a group activity you love. Stop
Yeah,
talking about
that's
each
like an
other.
overarching theme. But like
Yeah.
pick up, I liked how Corey said, like, when we ripped it down the hill, or like Jason picked a weekend when the Toms were
Yeah.
here.
Like, it was so great to get to know them. Like, I
Rachel, yeah.
understand wanting to like partner up and pair up and just wanting to be like, I just love you so much. But just shut the fuck up and like tell me that you really enjoyed ski biking, like
Yeah, it
tell
was
me like
super
something
weird.
you had fun doing, not just who you did.
It was weird. But let's go party now. So Jess turns to Corey and she's like, I'm not even bitching that this party's not all about me. And I was like,
You just
girly.
met these people. You're not friends with them. You should be happy you have a fucking sash.
And then to make things worse, Corey says that he wants to eat her pussy.
No, I hated this. I'm like, actually, yeah, go downstairs and like eat her out
Get
because
out.
I don't want to watch you two
Get
anymore.
out, both of you.
Leave this
So
house.
Austin asked Paige where he should talk to Sierra, and she says a neutral place. So he asked Sierra to talk, and Sierra was going to change, but Paige told her, leave your boobs out, girl.
Which I don't think that was a good idea. Like,
I
go
think that's
change.
disrespectful for Olivia a little bit to be like,
Well,
have him stare. It's like, I just
even
don't,
I
just
just find
talk to
it weird.
him.
Like, you're playing games now. Like, you guys were so mad that he kept like commenting about her boobs whenever the Tom's party happened. Like, why are we just gonna like flaunt shit in his face during a one-on-one conversation for
Yeah.
fun?
So Sierra knows before it even happens that Austin's gonna apologize because that's in his playbook.
When she goes,
So
oh, we're on page 3 of the
page
playbook.
3
I was like, that
was
great
good.
comment.
So Austin tells Sierra he thought like it was like funny the other night. They were just having fun.
No,
And Sierra's
sir,
like,
no.
let's lay this out. Our two situations are totally different. You have a girlfriend that you wanted to bring here. I fucked a dude before I even showed up
Yes.
and never thought about bringing him here.
I
And
hate that he's
Austin,
like, it was
it
lighthearted
was
and like you
funny.
just took it too
It was
serious. I
just like,
didn't realize you were taking it that way.
it was fun. So Austin says he didn't know like the line they would be towing before he got here, and like they had feelings in the past, and like how do you go to friends, without like flirting? And Sierra's basically like, it's been 2 weeks and you have come at me constantly, and I don't want that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So Austin just wants to know like what she needs to have a friendship or a relationship with him. And then we cut because now it's 8:58 and we are like, oh no, is Sierra gonna like try and get back with Austin? No, she basically says we don't have a friendship. All you do is like yell at me. My therapist said I need to protect myself. Like, we're done.
Good. Set this
She
boundary. I think one day like they could potentially be more friendly because of
Yes.
their friends are dating, but set a hard boundary. Do not interact with him for the next 9 months. He does not deserve to be in your life.
Yes. So now a different couple. Corey makes Jess a birthday drink and delivers it to her as Jess is talking to the girls about all she wants for her birthday is for Corey to ask her to be his girlfriend.
I just don't understand how out of touch she is. It makes no sense to me how she thinks these things are going to happen. I'm not like trying to say she's crazy or anything like that. I am just sincerely confused because I don't know anyone who operates like this.
Meredith, they do it in the metaverse.
Stop. If somebody else has lived a similar experience to this and is like, oh yeah, I can totally understand where she's coming from and give me perspective on her point of view, because I completely don't understand it. I am floored every time this girl speaks about Corey.
If the metaverse is like Sims, in Sims, you can get pregnant and divorced in a day.
That is a good analogy. She is running that shit on the three triangle speed.
Mm-hmm.
And Corey is on speed 1, went to sleep, turned the game off.
Yeah, Corey lost Sims. Jess has never stopped playing
Corey's
this game.
Person is locked in a room and he has not had another
his house burnt down. He has nowhere to live. Yeah. Okay, so then Jess and Corey talk. And Jess tells Corey she was like kind of pissed that he didn't say anything about her at dinner. And Corey's like, I wanted to say Euphoria night because that's the first time we kissed. But I have trouble expressing my feelings verbally. And I was like, that's a bunch of bullshit. Too,
I believe that could be true, but not about this situation. You truly enjoyed the first
Euphoria
day.
Night. You could have just said it and everyone would have been like, great. No one would have been like, why specifically that night?
Yeah.
Just, we know.
And then whisper in her ear, because it's the first time we kissed.
Ew.
I actually would have thrown up in my mouth.
He said that he wanted to eat her
mouth. No, we're not going backwards. Okay.
He can never whisper anything to her again. No. Okay, so Jess says she really likes him and wants to be exclusive. And Corey says he likes Jess more than he thought, which is so goddamn fucking funny.
Oh, so this conversation was the pinnacle of their relationship for me because she is so forward. I appreciate her actually being forward about what she wants and not talking about behind his back about this thing. She's like, I want a relationship. I want to be exclusive. And he's like, I am shocked. I like you still.
I didn't really like you for a long time. And now I do. It's crazy. But he's worried about the distance and doesn't think that they can say they're leaving here dating.
All normal things. If they were in the same city and he was pulling this shit, I'd be like, yeah, he doesn't want to be with you.
Yeah.
But you were on opposite sides of this country.
Not in the metaverse, though. They're together there. So then Corey says he feels like it's really rushed. And Jess is like, great, I'm done. And like gets up and leaves. And Corey's just like, okay, bye.
Like, oh, okay.
So then, some people start packing. The party's kind of over. Corey and Jess sleep separately. It is now Saturday, 9:21 a.m. The house is starting to rise. Everyone's starting to pack. Jason and Rachel confirm that they're riding home together, which makes my heart super happy. Luke is first. He's all packed up, ready to go, says bye to everyone.
He has like one bag.
Yeah. Paige has maybe 50 boxes and Luke has a carry-on. Like he is riding a plane.
He's ready to get out of there.
Yeah. So everyone says bye to everyone. No, nothing really notable here except that Jason and Rachel leave together. It's very cute.
Their back window was down and I couldn't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, because it was cold. I was like,
why did you put that down? And please put it back up. You're driving now. Corey slide that in there.
Yeah. Corey checks in with Jess. Corey thinks they're on the right track, but Jess is just so used to waking up next to Corey. So Corey says, let's just see, like, I want things to progress. Let's just see where things go. And then in her interview, Jess gets a call from Corey. And I'm like, are they dating?
When he said, I'm excited to see where this goes, she goes, like being exclusive. And I'm like, girl, stop pushing this.
She can't get over it. My biggest thing is like, he still called her. Are they dating?
I was thinking, when did that interview happen? Do you think?
I don't know.
Okay, this kind of goes back to our 1-star review, like of him like playing the field and like, him conning women into bed. He's not conning anyone into bed, first off, and he wasn't sleeping around. So like that, I did want to say that, but I don't think him like calling her and like still like keeping in touch with her, like they're not exclusive. And he has been actually very clear on like where he stands with
Yeah.
her and like where his feelings are at. It's not like I said, he's not flirting with other women. I mean, I don't know what's going on his phone, but like it doesn't seem like there's too much going on behind her back. They're on different pages. He is not so head over heels in love with her that he wants a relationship, but it does not shock me if he is still flirting with her and like if they have flown and seen each other since filming has ended.
I think Jess is dating someone else.
Is she?
Just based off her Instagram, she has a photo with a dude. It's in her story, with long brown hair that says Malibu Nights, and they're on a picnic blanket together.
Well, good. I'm glad she moved on because like I could not do like more pining stuff with her. But
Yeah.
I would bet that they probably do interviews like 2-3 months after they film max.
Oh, whatever. Okay, great. So they're probably not dating. So
Good. Well, I mean, we saw a Summer House clip where she's not there. I can't imagine
right.
if they were dating, she would probably be in the Summer House.
Yes. So
She would
other
weasel her
notable
way there.
things. Austin says bye to Sierra and it's awkward, and he's like, one day we'll be better. And she goes, get home safe.
You know
That
what,
was
Sierra,
That
pinnacle
was
for me
good.
outside of yelling at him and telling him to get out of your room. Really appreciate how you handled that. Good for you.
And everyone else leaves, and there's the end of another season.
A weird ending, but Summer House kind of always ends that way too.
It was unfulfilling.
I really like in Housewives how they do the pictures, they snapshot people and do a like what's been going on. I wish we would get that.
We're gonna get it in Summer House.
Like, oh, what's been going on?
Yeah, we're gonna
I
get
know.
it immediately in Summer House.
I feel like it rounds out the season.
Yeah.
And Summer House and Winter House, when they just leave the house, I'm like, okay.
Well, do you want to do comments or fun not fun first?
Let's do
tell
comments.
Okay.
Let's do comments because I need to really think about fun not fun.
Okay, so Casey did like a little quote thing. So it's like, Jess, guys don't really get to know me. They only want to fuck me. Also, Jess, while making out with Corey for the first time, I want you inside me. Later,
Yeah.
Jess, I'm trying to grow as a person. 10 minutes later, Jess, I'm obviously the hottest one here. I do feel bad that people are coming at her at the dinner table, but phew, this girl is not helping her case.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's
That's
one of those
funny.
things when everyone has a problem with you, you probably need to look at yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
we all own ownership in a lot of our, like, we all have ownership in our interactions with people. And so, like, what could you have done differently? And with Jess, I'm like, there's a lot that could have gone differently.
There could have been a lot of
2
growth.
weeks.
Yeah.
I hope she watched this because I think this could really help her grow. I think if I was on a first season of reality TV, whoa, would I be shocked on how I interact?
Same. I think it's a shock for everyone. And you can either play into it or
really learn from it.
Yeah. So, okay, Casey gives overall thoughts. Amanda and Kyle, best season yet. No fighting, truly in love, and Kyle actually relaxing from work. Hope this continues in Summer House. Yes, but also it's not good TV, Casey.
Yeah.
I support it. I don't love it.
What I realized is I don't need their relationship dysfunction. And that TikTok you sent me kind of covered it, that like I need more of how Paige and Craig operate independently in the house to cause chaos. Yes. I need that from Kyle. Amanda will never, I think, be able to do it. No. I think the only drama she's ever really been a part of is couple drama. And I don't want their couple drama, but I want party Kyle, like raging, outfits to the 9. And
I want him to be lost.
Him eating that pork after the meal when he goes, this isn't steak. I was like, yes, drunk Kyle, you start eating. I need the segment.
I know it angers Amanda, but I need him falling asleep in a pantry. Yes. I need him to go missing for 3 hours and
especially
everyone go, where's
Winter
Kyle?
House where it's 2 weeks. Like, this is a vacation. I understand that Summer House, maybe we don't need 2 months of Kyle getting effed up every weekend. Yeah. But come on, this is a 2-week vacation you're not even working on.
Agreed. She also says, love Jason and Kyle's painting date. I know they're not together, and honestly,
Rachel.
Yeah, what'd I say?
Kyle and Jason.
Ooh, cuties. Okay, yeah, loved Jason and Rachel's painting date. Jesus Christ. I know they're not together, but and honestly didn't see it going anywhere, but it was cute to watch. It was cute to watch. It
I enjoyed
was.
it because I love Jason so much.
I do too. I just want him to be happy. Luke, totally in his element. Wonder if he'll just keep coming back for the winter. We discussed we want
That's what
him.
I said.
I want him to host.
Still disappointed we didn't get an igloo. So bring back the igloo making because I like the progression over a season.
You know what should happen is they go to Luke's winter house where he almost does like a camp for them to like he wakes them up at 7 a.m. and is like, we're going snowshoeing. Everyone's in. Like a camp.
Well, it's like a how to be a lumberjack.
Yes.
I know
like,
we said lumberjack games, but maybe that's the
How to
season
be a-
finale.
Yes.
Is he does training and he trains them to be a lumberjack. It's kind of like how Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? But Luke trains them all season to beat him.
Yes. Okay. Paige and Craig. I feel like they're totally in love from like quotes from or not quotes, parentheses. From listening to Giggly Squad and seeing how she acts around him. Just wondering if it will truly last. I kind of think so, and I'm here to continue watching it. It's not as bad as watching Kyle and Amanda fight on every season of Summer House for the last 7 seasons. Yeah, it's not. I again like how Craig and Paige can do separate drama and come together and almost do like a high five of like we did good work today.
And knowing that he is not a full cast member, they are not full cast members on each other's shows.
Yeah, I think
it gives me hope and happiness.
I think they're in it for the long run. I can only see a few reasons they probably wouldn't work out, and I don't think any of them would happen.
Me neither. Like Craig's not gonna cheat on her. He's so fucking obsessed with her.
Yeah, no. I support the relationship. I kind of wish there would be more issues I could just like see a little, but also like that's just me being a shitty reality TV viewer. Like obviously I hope their personal lives they are very happy and like healthy. Yeah. I just want them to continue fighting on my show because I think Craig angry is one of the funniest and most infuriating things altogether.
Yeah, it's weird because the way they cause drama on their own shows is so different. So it's hard for them to cause drama on each other's show because they don't operate the same. The shows don't, and their vibe and themselves are so.
It's all crazy.
Yeah.
Sierra, stay as far away from Austin as possible. Please. Girl. Austin, no comments, honestly. Great. Same here. Jess and Corey, over talking about them. Jess is a clinger, and the fact that she thought Corey would be exclusive after 2 weeks of vacationing is ridiculous. Still not a fan of them either. The fact that he was calling her in the interview, though, makes me think they continue dating. Also, was that them on Summer House preview?
No.
Please, God, no.
I know it was not. Like I said, I watched it 4 times just to make sure. I bet they hooked up. I bet they saw each other each like once or twice, hooked up in the 3 months.
I bet their Sims had babies together.
Stop it. Yeah.
But she's, I think, with a different dude from my 2 seconds of creeping on her story. I can handle Corey because it's a party house and he likes to party, but the two of them together, no, thank you. That's kind of why you like Corey better.
I love Corey independently. He's bringing like old Kyle, but less of it being like super immature, douchey, dumb stuff. Like Corey is like bringing that fun party vibe back to it.
He is yes friend. He is the dudes are like, we're going out, and Corey's like, done.
Yes, Corey was literally laying in bed and they're like, let's party on the deck. And he's like, I'm in.
Yeah, I really think Corey could get a good spot in the future of this just because he's young, he's energetic, he's single, and he's ready to party.
He can drink and he's not a lightweight. Like it doesn't become super messy and annoying.
Yeah.
You know, like it's fun drinking.
Casey also says, so glad to be a part of the live shows. I love listening to you girls. It's my favorite part of the week. Keep up the awesome work, and I can't wait for Summer House.
I'm excited, especially because Corey's there. I really think that was a really good casting move.
Listen, Casey, if this was 9 episodes, Summer House is about to be 22. I'm just waiting for it to drop.
Fuck.
I know. Okay, Dustin says, happy holidays. Jackie and I haven't been able to watch yet, but it's been a crazy season. crazy.
Well,
But like
give us your thoughts once you're done.
it's like crazy, but also like unnecessarily crazy. I don't know
Yeah.
how to describe it.
Weirdly, I actually have high hopes for Summer House.
Great. Okay. Do you? Great. I
I
don't.
do.
I
I'm
don't.
excited.
So we'll see.
I'm excited for the new people. And like I like that they didn't really give us a good teaser. Like I like that it was a dumb moment because
Yeah.
I'm like I feel like they're holding things back because it's so good. They'd give it all away.
I am only here for the Danielle Lindsay drama.
I
Like
know, but I feel like they can't give us a teaser of that
they
because it
can't
would
give me
give too
they
much
can't give
away.
us any of that. They
One
literally
teaser of
can't.
that would give it all away.
They can't give us any of it. Okay, Tonette says best line so far to be insecure, white, and tall.
I
Hilarious.
obsessed with
Sent
that
me.
line.
Jason is Rachel's hype man. Every girl needs a hype man. I know, and she should have kept him. I don't know her real boyfriend. I just
No,
can't support
but
it
this
yet.
kind of because she has a boyfriend, I'm like, she's not gonna come back to Winter House. There's no
She's
way.
not. She's not going to be in Summer House, I bet. And that's
No,
sad because she was a good casting
I
too.
liked
I think is
her.
like a beeline. The problem being we need more A story girls. I think
We
Corey
got a
could be
lot
an
of
A.
individual Rachel stuff, and I loved all of it when she's in her interviews and she's explaining her life and she's
Yes.
like telling us about herself. But yeah, she doesn't know how to weave into
She's
drama.
not we need, no one can be better than Lindsay Hubbard, man. She
Yeah.
fucking sent the amount of one-liners. I love to be like, if you're a good reality TV star, you can give me one-liners to quote forever. The amount of
She
one-liners
has, yeah.
to the point that sometimes when I'm mad, I'll be like, "Oh, I'm activated." Like I want it. I love it. There
Because she'll
needs to
always
be.
respond. Like people come say something to her and she responds.
Don't walk
That's what I'm
away.
excited about Summer House is they engage with each other.
She won't disengage like
Yeah.
Meredith
No,
Marks.
she won't.
See?
She will sit at that table, she'll stand up and she'll point. She loves a good arm out.
Sober or drunk.
Yep.
Because sober was how many sandwiches have you made for me? And that was iconic. Okay, Tona also says, I'm sorry, but did this bitch just insinuate that she's hotter than Rachel? Excuse me? I agree.
I
Just that
think
was rude.
Rachel is gorgeous. We didn't even
Gorgeous.
touch on that. Like we just talked about how
Gorgeous.
incorrect the phrasing of Jess's
Listen,
statements are, but like
it might
again,
be,
hot people are on shows. There are not ugly
they're
people
all hot.
casted.
It might be because I'm obviously partial because I have brown hair, but I love a brunette girl. I'm always like, they're
But her
so
hair
goddamn
is
hot.
so shiny and gorgeous. I think that's one thing
The
brunettes.
nose
I
ring.
always notice her eye, like eyeliner, eye makeup is always on point.
I've talked about this before with Amanda. A nose ring sense. I think
Yeah,
nose rings
you
are
do
the
love them.
hottest things. I don't know. I think she's gorgeous.
Oh, that just irks me so much.
Okay, Dustin did, I think, end up watching. We have 2 comments from
Okay.
Dustin. Food at the etiquette dinner looked delicious. Dustin, don't even remind me. Austin sucks. It's a shame everyone didn't have more fun. Winter should be fun. And on that note, I think we should do fun, not fun.
Okay, are we doing it for this episode or for the season?
I think we need to give it for the episode and then I'll give you my stats for the season. I got them all.
Well, I'm gonna just make a comment afterwards because the person I would pick for fun, it would be different. For the season.
You should have thought of it. I
know, but I'm just saying on an all-encompassing.
Okay, who's your not fun for this episode?
It's Jess. I fucking hate her on every level. I don't even love to hate her. That's the problem. Despite it is not fun to watch her and Corey on such separate pages. It is so cringy. It makes me want to turn off the TV. If we didn't do this podcast, I would stop watching the season solely because of Jess.
Great. I'm gonna pick Austin because I think he's a Muppet. I have no real. Man. I just don't care.
You bringing that tweet back about him being a Muppet was so funny. I kind of forgot about it. For a
cackle.
Minute.
It's my favorite. Okay, what about fun?
Oh, that's tough because this episode was tricky.
I think I have mine.
Okay, do yours.
I think I gotta go Jason. I think Jason just had like a good. He did the date, and I think that was really sweet to make like. He wanted to take her out, but it got snowed in and he still like did the date. He acknowledged that he should have stood up for Rachel, which was cute. He checked in with her. And even though she was drained,
that's a good one.
I do want to take you out. I just think Jason deserves recognition.
That is a really good one. I'm gonna pick Craig. I think he has been
Okay.
stellar these last few episodes in an all-encompassing way, but he, like, they came home from the wine with the ladies and he had a great time. He even self-admitted he loves the little gossip, having some wine, made that
I
dinner,
love that.
cooked everything, was able to handle both Paige and Austin, and then still end up turning it fun outside and like have a little tiff with the girls in a fun way. Like, I think he really helped orchestrate that to keep the night fresh and fun.
Yeah,
Well,
love that.
yes, drama was happening, and like I'm happy somebody checked on Rachel. Like, we still have to have fun, has to be had.
Yeah, fun must be had. Okay, so
And
I
he did his little anniversary thing. Like, I'm
oh
missing
yeah, that was
half the
cute.
shit.
Do you want to shout out who you liked best
I just,
overall?
if we picked overall, I have to give it to Corey. I know I just did my rant, but like, I really think he was the only one who consistently like was fun.
Great. I don't have one because fuck that, but
That's okay.
great, Corey.
I'm
Okay,
obsessed with him.
so do you want to guess who was most not fun for the season?
Jess.
Yeah, she
It
got
was
7 times. 7 times. We were like,
nine
she sucks.
episode, seven
Well,
times
no,
she got
it's
it.
sometimes both of
I know,
us
but I'm just
picked her.
saying.
Yeah.
It's just like
So
out
out
of
of 14, or no,
18
out of
options,
18,
she got it 7 times.
yeah, she got it 7 times. Okay, what about fun? This was close, but I was kind of
Ooh.
surprised.
I bet Jason and it either have to be Paige or Craig just because I feel like they consistently have moments. Like that Craig had his bad, but
So let me debunk what you just said. Actually, Craig's only fun was today when you picked him.
really. I
Paige is
just can,
then,
in my mind I was like, "Oh, he got so much better, so we might have picked him."
yeah, Paige got it twice,
Okay.
and Jason tied for second with 3 times, and then Luke
Hmm.
was the other 3 timer. So do you want to guess one more time? I
Kyle?
no, it surprised me. It's Rachel.
Rachel?
Rachel.
Oh,
Rachel was
we did
our
love her
number
this whole
one
season.
pick
You're right. I
four
was going through the
times.
season of like big moments, and I just am seeing like Craig punching the thing. So I was like, oh, he really bounced back from that. We had to have picked
But we
Craig.
know you were the first one.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
Paige was twice, Corey was twice, Luke and Jason got three
I never
times.
remember who I picked.
Kyle and Amanda only got once. Craig was not fun 5 times.
Yeah, that checks. He was heavily on the beginning of the season.
Okay, well, we did it. We did another season done.
In the
We will
books.
be back for live seasons come February when both Vanderpump Rules and Summer House are going to take over our entire lives for 22 weeks, probably.
Oh,
So
man.
please be ready for that. Please also just be like warned. There might be some timing issues. There might be some
I already
conflicts.
have a week. I'm like, well, we're
Ish.
not recording that week.
Yeah, there might be some late episodes. We apologize in advance, but stick with us because we will do every
Yeah.
episode.
Yes.
It's just a matter of timing might be weird sometimes.
Because it's airing Monday and Wednesday.
But then it's twice. And as you're listening,
Mhm.
this episode is at over an hour, well over an
Yeah.
hour.
It's probably an hour and a half at this point.
And like to do that twice a
Twice.
day, we still work and like try
Yeah.
and have
On a
lives.
very scheduled thing. Because when we do off seasons, we're able to record twice a week. But it's like, oh, well, this week I
It's
can do
quick.
Monday. This week I can do Sunday. But
Yeah.
to have
And
a
the other
rigid
thing,
schedule is going to be the challenge.
when we do old seasons, and I don't know if you feel this, I know what happens, so I can take
Yeah.
easy notes.
Mhm.
Here, I'm pausing. So to watch the episode even takes me an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then to record for an hour
Because
and
it's
a half.
exciting. We're so into this.
So that's 6 hours a week that when the shows double up, it becomes a little rough. So, but listen, we will record and release them as fast as we possibly can. We are going to try and keep up.
We will stick to a pretty standard schedule. There'll be a few times.
Yes, but still join. That's when you should join our Patreon because that will be prime
That gets it
live show
immediately.
time.
Yeah.
But join in the off season. We're gonna try and record some one season wonders, maybe some old seasons. We don't know yet, but that's like what we're going for. And follow us on Instagram. Like if I'm bored, I'll start posting on there. So never fear, Alicia is here.
We just have a short break until we're back in February. So February 1st, kick on that Patreon to give us all your thoughts. But other than that, it's been a great season.
Great season, you guys.
Bye,
This was
guys.
amazing.